Yeah, I just want to go into the law real quick. Um, and basically the reason why I want to jump into the law is because, you know, when you look at our children, right, and you look at our households, right, there's a lot of wickedness going on within the households. There's a lot of, unfit parents in the households. They're not really on the level. They're not teaching the children the scriptures. That's because obviously they don't know the scriptures, but they're not really making efforts. You understand? And if they are making efforts, they don't know how to really judge the matter according to the Bible. Now, of course, we're not in the Bible time. You understand? But we do have to try to follow some of what's written in the scripts. You understand? So we are able to guide our households in the correct way. You understand? The scriptures talk about when we have a son in our Proverbs. Let's read it. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So when you raise up your child in the way he should go, you're not training him up in, okay, well, if you was a crip or gangbanger, you gonna raise him up with that mindset. You gonna, oh, nah, my son, he gonna be a crip. And my daughter, she gonna be a blood member. You understand? You don't raise your child in that way. You're supposed to raise them according to the scriptures or to some form of righteousness. You understand? But a lot of you so-called Negroes, if you was a basketball player or a boxer, you want to raise your child to be a boxer. Yeah, my child gonna be a world champion one. I'm gonna train them up. That's not the way it's supposed to go. Like Floyd Mayweather, he got young boy's son, his daughter's son. He training him up to be a boxer, and that's all his focus is. Clearly, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that for protection's sake, but that's not supposed to be our way. That's not supposed to be our walk. You understand? The Most High gave us the vocation, and He said, "Look, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to walk." You know what I mean? Our calling is to keep these commandments, man, and to raise our kids to keep the commandments and follow the Most High's way. But you so-called black people, man, you raising your kids to do whatever the hell you want them to do. They got the rap music, they got their pants sagging, you understand? And you so-called blacks, you're not doing nothing right, man. You ain't doing nothing right. And you think because you give your child whatever the hell he want, that's showing love. No, what's gonna happen is you gonna come to a point where you can't provide them things for him, and your child gonna rebel against you and put you to death. That happens all the time. Just the other day, the young 10-year-old kid flipped out on his mother because the mother didn't give him what he wanted, killed his own mother. That's because of rebellion. That's because you didn't keep him in. You didn't train him up. You got to train your youth them up within the scriptures. But a lot of you so-called black people, you ain't doing that. And a lot of you so-called brothers that know the scriptures, you don't raise your kids up in the scriptures. Certain videos I watch, I see some brothers, they have their kids in the camps. Which, I mean, I don't know about that, but you know what? That's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. It is what it is. But that's cool. Because he's showing that, look, my child is in the scriptures. I'm raising him up in the scriptures. Fringes and the borders of blue. You raising him up in that environment. So he ain't gonna depart from it. Because that's all he know. So it's good to immerse your children within the scriptures and around certain brotherhood. If you have a brotherhood, that's righteous. But I want to go into the law concerning wicked and evil children. If you got wicked kids, they smoking weed all day, smoking crack, they in the house smoking crack, popping Percocets, Xannies and all this type of stuff. They doing all this stuff that rap music is telling them to do. Guess what you do? You correct they behind. Kick they behind out the house. They rebellion. Okay, and let's read on. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, a lot of your children are wicked as hell. That's my baby. That's you women. It's my baby. Your baby's a demon. Right? Your baby is a damn demon. He's rebellious son. He has his pants below his butt. He's doing all kind of wickedness. You understand? He's breaking all your rules in the house. Forget the Bible rules. He's breaking your own rules. Because you out of order. It says, which will not obey the voice of his father. He don't listen to his damn father. Well, damn near your fathers ain't even in the house. But if he has a father, he ain't listening to his father. Because why? They're following this system. And the thing too with these youth, you understand? You got to catch them young. You got to be around them. You got to check for them, watch everything they do. But if you let them just gallivant and let them do whatever the hell they want to do, like many of you mothers do, many of you mothers are careless. It mentions the woman being the ostrich. She trampled all over her eggs. See what I'm saying? You're cruel to your young ones, you so-called black women. You understand? That's what the scriptures say. But if they don't obey the voice of your father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, meaning they corrected his behind, look, get up, go get work, stop smoking weed, stop smoking crack, you know, go seek some help. You know, you're giving them all these different things. You're correcting them. You're trying to, you know, stray him in the right path. But he's not listening to you. The scripture, what does it say? 19, let's go down to 19. Then shall his father and mother lay hold on him. They lay hold on his behind and grab him up and bring him unto the elders. Who's the elders? The leaders. See that? But in our system, we have no leadership. And it's a sad thing because, you know, we've always had a leader. You see what I'm saying? When we was in Egypt, and we was in captivity under the pharaohs. Guess what? Moses came to our deliverance. He was our leader. He said, "Look, no, hey man, my brothers and sisters, my brothers, they got to keep the Sabbath. So can you give them some time off?" Guess what? He said, "No." But we always had leadership. We always had someone to bat for us. We always had someone to represent us in righteousness. Who's our leaders now? We don't have no leadership. That's when you read Jeremiah, the 14th chapter, 2nd verse. It talks about how our gates languish. It talks about how the leadership is languishing, is weak. We have no leadership. That's why when you check our communities, it's a catastrophe. You understand what I'm saying? It's chaos in the communities because there's no leadership. There's no leadership. 19. Then shall his father and mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and onto the gate of his place. And you notice something, right? They wasn't crying when they did that. The father and mother was like, you know what? Hey, we reached this point. We got to bring his behind to the elders. Let the elders take a look at him. Because they was like, you know, this is a wicked dude. This is a wicked daughter we got here. 20. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton. See that? He's not listening to the parents. He's a glutton. He's sitting up in the bed all day, eating food, eating snacks, drinking a Coca-Cola, drinking a Mountain Dew, Monster Energy drink, Red Bull, whatever the case may be, eating crisp all day, yamming the crisp, doing all manner of wickedness, not listening. His parents is telling him, look, go get a work, go hustle, go do some, go to college, get yourself together, etc. And he's drinking, he's a drunkard, so he's an alcoholic. You understand? The scriptures talk about, you know, we shouldn't be alcoholics out here, drinking all crazy and bugged out. You understand? And I see some of these videos too. They got the videos online, and where the cops are called to certain people's residence, and you know, you got the child. He's bugging out. The kid's bugging out, stabbing up his grandfather, fighting his mother. The mother want him out the house, and they call Esau to come and collect your behind. And Esau collect your behind. So some of our people, to be honest, they kind of got the right mindset when you think about it too. Because when they child get out of order, they call Esau on their ass. They call the law. They call the authorities. You understand? And in a sense, they're the elders. The so-called, these Europeans are the elders of the city. They're the rulers of the city. So if your child is out of order, call Esau on his behind and get his ass out the house. Get that wicked dude, that drunkard, out the damn house. He's a glutton and he's a drunkard. That's what the scriptures say. He's a rebellion. But a lot of you so-called black people, you let your son just do whatever the hell he'll grow out of it. He'll mature. And the so-called this simple-minded black dude, he reached 15, 16. He's toting guns. He got guns in his book bag. He got crack in his book bag. He talking about he's hustling. He talking about he's doing all these different things. And the mother see the wickedness, but the mother, you know, being that she's a woman, she's weak. She has no rule over this man. And this is why the man has to be in the house. And you notice when you read 19, it says, shall his father and mother lay hold on him. It was a team effort. It wasn't just the mother sitting there scratching their head. Oh, what do I do? How do I take care of these kids? How do I correct them? No, guess what? It was the mother and the father. They both came to that agreement and said, look, we're going to take his behind to the elders to get his ass judged for his wickedness and his gluttonous and his drunkenness. 21. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones. See that? That was the judgment. That was the judgment. And I perceive in the spirit when they took the son to the elders knew, yeah, he was a demon. He was probably drunk. They dragged him to the elders of the city, and he was drunk, probably vomiting, acting like a damn fool. Using all kind of profanities, disrespectful words. Probably was calling the elders all types of disrespectful words, and they pronounced the judgment there. And his judgment was he was to be stoned. So a lot of you so-called black people, you gotta get back to correcting your kids, man. Not obviously in this manner. I'm not advocating that you go out there and follow the script. You don't do that. I'm just saying we have to, in some form, try to discipline our children in a stern manner. Because a lot of you so-called black people, you discipline, you do the discipline, but a lot of you, I don't know that y'all psychopathic when it comes to the discipline. You understand? And some may say, but you're a hypocrite. This is psychopathic. No, it's not psychopathic. Absolutely not. A lot of you so-called black people, you beat up on your kids for some bullshit. Clean up your room. You ready to fight beat up your kid because he didn't clean up his room. But you know what? You're supposed to clean up your room. I'm going off. Hell yeah, you clean up your damn room. If your room's dirty and messy, you're supposed to clean up your damn room. What the hell is this? So in a sense, that's correct. You're supposed to clean up your room. Obey your mother and your father because they have the rule over you. So when your parents tell you to do something, you got to damn do it. But there's ways to do it. There's way before you go to this stage. You chasten him. That's why the scripture says you have to chasten him. But if it comes to a point where he kind of want to continue to smoke crack, he want to continue to smoke weed, he want to continue to pop pills, he want to continue to be a gluttonous, he might even be dabbling in the baptism too. So if he's dabbling that lifestyle too, then guess what? You have to go where? You understand? You have to run him still. You have to run him. If he's smoking the blunts, then smoking weed, and he's doing all kind of wickedness, he ain't listening. He ain't doing Bible study. He's not reading the laws of the Bible, the scriptures. Then guess what? His ass gotta go. He has to go. You understand? Let's read 21 again. All the men of the city shall stone him with stones, and then he died. So shalt thou put evil away among you. See, that's the point. The point is to put the evil from among we. You understand what I'm saying? That's the point. That's why when there was adultery being committed, some fornication being committed, some wickedness being committed, right? The Most High put it out that, look, you got to do away with that. Someone got to get put to death. Because if you let that madness continue on, it's going to fester within the community. People are going to say, oh yeah, she's a harlot. That's a harlot right there. Yeah, she slept with Tony. She slept with Matthew. And that starts to ring within the community. What's going to happen is that's going to encourage others to do the same thing. And the reason why they're encouraged to do it, because why? There was no judgment laid down. The judgment didn't take place. So that's why the judgment, we was very serious when it came to judging the wickedness. And guess what? These things was done public to put fear in the community. Because if you see someone getting stoned and get their head chopped off for some sort of wickedness, right? You're going to say, boy, let me tread carefully still. Because I don't want that. I don't want to be next. So you're going to keep the laws. You're going to look at your fringes and your borders of blue. You're going to go to your studies. You're going to do your study. You're going to go to the Levitical priest. And you're going to learn them laws so you don't go off. You're going to raise your kids right so you don't have to be in a situation like this. And being that this was a public event, you see that's going to put fear in you as a parent to then what? Train your child up in the laws. You understand? So this is what we have to do. We can no longer turn a blind eye and say, oh, he's young. No, his ass ain't young. You correct his behind. Give him chores around the house. You know what I mean? Tell him to clean up his room, clean up the house, go wash the car. You understand? But a lot of you so-called black people, you ain't doing that. You let your kids dress how they want to dress. You see your daughters showing they boobs, showing they V, showing they backside. You don't correct them. You let them do whatever the hell you want them to do. And a lot of you so-called black people, you're the worst. You're the worst, man. You understand? You're the worst. And I'm not here to bash my people. I'm just saying we have to do better. We got to do better, because if you have a child and if you have a son and your son come in the house. You see the cat ain't got no belt. You see he's pulling up his pants. But then when he turn around, you see he got his drawers showing, his underwear showing, and his pants are below his butt. Now a person in their right mind is gonna say, look, pull up your trousers, man. You can't be gwandering like this. Pull up your trousers, man. If you have your daughters, she has no elegancy to her. Well, I mean, but again, this is a thing of, if they're coming from class. If you coming from class, then you're gonna know these things. But if you're not coming from the proper upbringing and certain class, then you're not really, you're not really gonna know them type of things there. Because at the end of the day, and this is why the kingdom has to come, so everything can get put back together again. Because what's happening is, it's been years and years of us being, just on the bottom in this society, that we've lost our way. The scriptures tell us not to remember the former things, but a lot of our people, we're not remembering the former things. We're not remembering the things of the past. We're not remembering the laws that we used to keep, the righteousness that we used to uphold. We're not remembering that. The dress code, the conduct, the behavior amongst our brothers and sisters. We don't remember that. But now we have to return. Now that some of us are coming back, we have to return back to these laws and keep these laws. You understand what I'm saying? We have to keep these laws. That's what we have to do. Let me get one more scripture and I'm gonna shut it down. Let me get one more scripture for you brothers, man. One more scripture here. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting his soul. So the law is supposed to convert you. What does it mean to convert? It means to change you. Okay? The testimony of the Lord is sure. You understand? This testimony, the laws and legislation is sure. Making wise is simple. Is a simple thing. The scriptures say, my yoke is easy, learn of me. This is a simple thing. So if there's certain things that women is supposed to do, certain things men is supposed to do, it's a simple thing to do. It's simple. It's not no deep thing. This is a simple thing still. But many of you want to make it a big thing. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to return back to these laws. We have to teach our children these laws. We can't teach them according to the system, the B system. We have to teach them according to the Bible. So we can't mess up in what we're doing. Because right now our people are just running into a brick wall. You understand? And we're not breaking the cycle or this confusion that we've been up under. You understand? We got to come back to these laws, keep these laws, to the best way possible. And we have to adhere to the Most High's way. We have to. You understand? That's what we have to do, man. With that, shalom. Peace.